All right, guys, I'm here with my good friend John Server, and we are at Ford Park in Dearborn. And you can take a look around here and see there are lots and lots of Muslims. But I'm going to let John share for just a few minutes here about a few things.
Sure. So, I have had interest in Islam, apologetics, dealing with Islam for really quite a long time, but have not really done a whole lot with it in terms of engaging Muslims or outreach, evangelism, these sort of things. And I think one thing that can be intimidating is, well, there's so much material in Islam. We know there are different sects, and where are people coming from? What do they really believe? But then on top of that, anyone who starts to learn a little bit about Muslims and what they would like to talk about with Christians knows they would like to pounce on certain doctrines like the Trinity, which are intimidating to talk about. They're hard for us to understand, let alone share with someone else and feel like we can articulate those well. So one thing I really appreciated that Anthony Rogers shared, who's the guy here in our group, was just two straightforward surahs. And I will say another thing before I share those is that it can also be intimidating to feel like when you see these sort of $1 million apologists that have memorized and can pull different surahs and Bible verses from different areas, to be like, man, I can't do that. And but he just mentioned two simple surahs, which were Surah 112:4, which says, "There is none comparable to Allah," and Surah 42:11, which says, "There is nothing like Allah." And what's interesting is those two numbers are actually kind of a palindrome. There's one forward is almost the other backward, just with a colon in a different spot. So I like that because they're very short, simple verses, and if it's brought up, like, well, explain the Trinity. This is a point of agreement to just say, hey, you would agree there's nothing like Allah, right? There's none comparable to him. So you would say we can't fully comprehend him, right? And they would agree. And I haven't had this conversation yet, but really no getting around agreeing with that if you say you're a Muslim. So, and then from there, it doesn't mean they're going to accept or believe in the Trinity, but at least to me that does provide some pause to say, okay, clearly I shouldn't be able to just completely check a box and make sense of this, and maybe there's something to it in terms of how God really is and who he really is. And so I've enjoyed what we've gotten to do here, and looking forward to having more conversations. We were just over at a VBS and got to see some kids running around, really having a good time, enjoying themselves. And so a wide array of things we've gotten to do, and it's been good.
Thanks, John. Thanks for sharing.